we're talking about right now.
No, now.
Good stuff.
Now it's
now it's
part of the episode.
Okay.
That's just going to be part of the promo that we'll
That's
use to promote the episode.
Why? What's promotional about it?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, fine.
The promotion is half off at racingjunk.com.
Oh, okay.
They get 25% off what they pay for the podcast.
Welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing
and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Limit Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run.
SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate.
As long as you drive it hard and build it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussions,
tips and tricks, as well as news and notes
from the world of amateur endurance racing.
And whether it's on the spot, hello sweet when we're lucky enough, and Chrissy.
And I give you just the tip.
We're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
Wow, we actually got through it all in a normal amount of time. This is Everyone Racers. Welcome to a TIGA episode of our podcast. It is episode 286. The TIGA was a British race car builder that made over 400 different race cars. Among them was the GC and the GT 286, a sports prototype that was built to Group C2 and IMSA GTP light rules. The GC was powered by either a Cosworth V8, a Cosworth Turbo 4, or a Ferrari 3-liter V8. The GT got a 1.8 liter two-rotor Wankel. You know what's not a Wankel? Big go-kart. Get it out. Hasn't been updated in a while. It's still full of gold and things we might actually talk about. So Sure. Jeff, what are you working on?
Well, I had to help my son's musical transport every bit of their set. I got suckered into helping out with, quote, set building, even though the high school techie kids have been doing it for like 6 months now, or I don't know how long they've been doing it.
They didn't just start because there was a lot of it.
There was a lot of it, yeah. So I showed up and there was a couple of little tiny like painting projects going on. I'm like, why are we here? And he says, oh, we need to move everything that you see and everything in that room and everything in that room and everything in that room to the other side of the school. Now, everyone's like, oh, well, that doesn't seem so hard. The other side of the school is a half a mile away. And we're talking about giant set pieces. You know, some of them were like 15 feet by 8 feet. We had trouble getting them out of doors. I had to start by breaking the doors. So basically I said, hold that thought. I'm going to go borrow a trailer. So I got on the tippy taps, borrowed a trailer from my good friends in Reading, Pennsylvania, and we hauled a ton of crap.
It was so big.
It was a ton of crap, yes.
It was like filling hallways and like whole rooms. Yes. And well, the stage also, you showed pictures, was also huge. So
yeah, huge. Yeah, it's a 40 by 60 stage.
Like full production kind. Like it had
Yeah, and there are all kinds of platforms and 15-foot walls. Yeah. So basically there was studded walls in like 10 to 15-foot sections. So much so they were absolutely like perfect if you put them at the exact 45-degree angle to go out a double door. But then we were like, you see that the seats are bolted right there, so you might not. And I was like, oh crap, you see that there's a railing outside that. Oh crap. So there was a lot of this may or may not actually
maneuvering.
Fit.
How did you have to take much apart?
No, it was all apart. And the only thing I really had to take apart was the double doors with the post in the middle.
Yes.
The key was not to be found.
Of course.
To unlock pull the post out.
Of course. So you had to undo it?
So
you like broke breaking and entering.
What are you, a cop?
No, I'm not.
You got done.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
That's fantastic.
Did it or did it not? Did it involve an angle grinder? Because I feel like that
was
probably almost your immediate solution. Big bar in the middle. Fetch my angle grinder.
More like lock picky needle nose, Leatherman, knives, blades, thin things.
Did you have it?
Lots
Did it
of
involve?
reruns of Magnum.
I was gonna say, did it involve 2 squirrels and a toothpick?
No. I should mention this is the same place
One
I went to.
squirrel.
Yeah, one squirrel. This is the same place I went to high school, so I was kind of like, always wanted to break something here, you know. Wasn't really like that.
Oh,
but
okay,
whatever.
okay. Sure.
Mental. Why don't you say what you're working on?
For those who are watching on YouTube, I actually have started getting the office set up. So I've got there's the lamp, there's the monitor. So I'm getting the SIM computer back up. Sweet. And then I actually have been working a bunch because I'm the stunt team chief for this. But one of the things that we got to do is we still have like the carpet in the floor in the office. So we found a cheap rug.
Like the one I wear on my head.
Oh,
never
And
that's amazing.
This picture just proves that Miata is always the answer. So
Wow,
you've got a 10-foot rug, you
Versatile
just
to
drop
pick up.
the top. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Wow.
I once moved a
Really?
sofa with my Miata.
Boom.
Fortunately, it had a roll bar. So I just put the sofa on top of the roll bar, on top of the windshield, strapped it to the roll bar.
It's the way to go.
Boom.
I don't
move a
know if that's
sofa.
the way to go. I think there's probably other.
Because you're not worried about it crushing. That's
Yeah.
perfectly the way
Great.
to go. Yeah.
No problem. Sofa moved.
Find a friend with a trailer. That's just the safer way.
What's-
But cool.
What's the best thing you ever moved with your Miata or 2-seat convertible sports car? Let us know. But Chris, you also did some other car stuff.
I feel like we put a lot of stuff in the Z4. It was a convertible. Wasn't there a lot of stuff that we picked up
We
mental
definitely-
in a car?
Yeah, I
think
definitely
it might
picked
have
up
been
Mental
Miata.
without enough room, and he had to have his bag in his lap the whole way, and then we still had to stop by your mom's house
and get
pick up more
cookies.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. That was
Oh,
different.
well.
Different story. I diverged.
What did I do? I got some new to me wheels for the NSX. 'Cause I found someone. I've been keeping my eye open for a long time for another set of wheels for that car because the stock ones are basically unobtainium and expensive forged wheels, and we drive on 422sucks.com. So I'd rather use something aftermarket that I don't
It's
care as
not
much
so
about.
much.
Especially because the stock wheels have tires that need to be replaced on them in the spring. So I said, well, let's look around. And I've been looking for years, and everything's in California or Atlanta, or it's $6,000 for a set of like bespoke Volk TE37s.
For which we also don't want to drive.
You got
on
like some
422.
wicked deep dish offset, yo.
We did
American
not.
Racing, ARE. Is that what you
Yeah,
got?
sure. Yeah, right. No, so I ended up with some Enki PF01s, which are, simple, good enough, nice, but like brand new
Classic
condition
style.
from this
Great.
ridiculous house,
wheel.
of
Nice.
course. That's the kind of people that sell NSX parts. And
He didn't have an SX though. He did.
he had sold it. He
doesn't
had several sets of wheels, and this is the last set of wheels he had. So yeah. Anyway, did that on the way. I actually was half an hour closer to Jeff than I was going to be, so met him in the parking lot of Amerigas to drop a trailer off. That was fine.
And we definitely didn't have the conversation. I'm in the parking lot. Where are you? Well, I'm in the parking lot. Where
Were
are
you on different sides of the building?
Yes, we were.
That's funny.
Yep.
Okay, there are 3 sides. That's I guess it's a
Yep.
thing.
I did a little bit of flying, which was nice until the winds got a little too much for a Cessna 150 crosswind component, and did some more aluminum welding. Finally, that's back in setup and working.
There's only
So
a
I'm
couple
working on the-
curse words that happened
Yeah.
from the garage.
Yeah, I'm working on the workbench for the trailer as my first aluminum project, and it has been frustrating because some of the welds I do come out beautifully, and I'm very happy. Other ones where I feel like I'm doing the exact same prep work are the dog's breakfast. They're terrible. So I'm looking into like, what am I doing wrong? And I know aluminum has to be kept very clean, and I know you have to use aluminum specific tools like that you don't use on other stuff to get contaminated. Okay, so I was doing that, but turns out I was using regular steel brushes, and I was not wiping everything off with acetone first, and so that may have been kind of rubbing contamination into the metal. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to clean everything with acetone very first, and I've got all new stainless steel brushes and whatnot coming to clean it separately. So Aluminum's a pain. Hopefully I'll get more consistent
this is
with it.
different and hard.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It is.
I'm allowed
go
to make
do it.
fun.
We're gonna remember you said that, Chrissy.
Oh, sure. That's a daily occurrence around here.
It's a learning curve, and you expected it to be a learning curve.
Yeah.
Would you
It's just
say
frustrating? There's a difference between a technique learning curve and I've done the same thing on two different joints. One of them looks nice. One of them looks terrible. That is the frustrating part.
Settings
So
were the same-ish, right?
Yeah,
Like you
settings were the same, prep was the same, materials the same. This one looks great, that one looks terrible. Why? I think it has to do with contamination, and so I'm trying my new stainless brushes and different cleaning techniques and whatnot. We shall see. I'll report back.
All right, very
Please
exciting.
do. I did not do anything exciting. Oh, okay. We can just move on. No
Check that
no
off.
problem.
Someone skipped over
I
Chrissy.
walked away. I walked away to get a hoodie because it's a little cold here, and I
it's
lost
fine.
track of where we were.
It's really no problem. I didn't do anything interesting.
I have a joke. No, say what you were doing.
I did a little bit more work at the library. Thanks. Our library is pretty loud, actually. And then I just did a lot of studying. So that's when Chris is gone, I spend the day on the couch and keep working through my certification. So nothing interesting here. Soon. Things will be interesting soon. Let's move on.
Go ahead, I'm waiting
I
for you.
was waiting for you.
News and notes time.
Turns out Road and Track and, well, us are full of crap. On our last episode, we covered a story that Red Bull might be selling their junior team AlphaTauri. Last week, presumably right after he heard it on this show, AlphaTauri team principal Franz Tost issued a statement saying Scuderia AlphaTauri is not for sale and that team principals from Red Bull have committed to their support of the team in the future. He added, all these rumors have no foundation and the team has to remain focused for the start of the season to perform better than last year. How'd that work out for them? Red Bull principal Christian Horner dismissed the reports as amusing and counterintuitive, owing to the considerable technical overlap between the two outfits. Horner added, as we know, there's always plenty of speculation in this paddock, which may be the most accurate and honest thing he ever said. It's good.
Yeah, so last week when we had this bit, I had read earlier in the day this exact thing of Friends Toast saying, no, we're not for sale, but we already
Wait, we didn't believe him.
I didn't know. I just said I wasn't going to let the truth get in the way of a good story. I don't know.
That's funny.
All right, so you've got a big RV and that's what you're living in. Okay, boomer. Freightliner, high top van is your stealth camper. Okay, Insta whatever, van dwelling. That's played. Now, Mercedes Streeter, as she often does, has a tip on the new hotness over at the Autopian, a Camaro camper. So on the link in our show notes and the YouTube, meet Arson. He is a medical technologist who converted his 2010 Camaro into a camper. He is committed as well, having lived in it for over 2 years. Now, he didn't get the fire breather. It's the V6, but still over 300 horsepower. The interior has a lot more than you would expect. Instead of a front passenger seat, he's got a small cooking unit with a counter and a sink on top. It pulls from a 5-gallon jug using a battery-powered pump and empties into a 1-gallon jug. The electric cooktop gets its juice from rooftop solar panels. The bathroom and shower issues are solved by a gym membership. And the bed is...
It's got a bathroom in it. Sorta.
Yeah. And the bed is maple plywood with a 1-inch topper. Now, the builder does claim that he spent just 10 working days and $1,500 to convert the Camaro. And if you include the cost of the Camaro, he's in it for about $6,000. So a link to that and to the YouTube channel is in our show notes.
So it's funny. Do you have the picture of him sleeping in the bed? Yeah, that was just looking at that one. He literally can't roll over. You actually can't do anything but lay like you're dead. I
wouldn't be able to sleep with that. I have to move.
Right.
Yeah.
Regal person. I just read this. If you're larger than he is or a side sleeper, you're going to have a bad time. This is ridiculous and sad, but he made an article about it, so I guess it's okay.
Best comment from the comment section. any vehicle, quote, can be converted into a camper. Not all vehicles should be converted.
Correct. I'd have a better time living in my Mercedes.
Yes.
True.
Just get a transit.
Well, yeah. I mean, your Mercedes also has like a whole separate section for a spa, and yeah.
I mean, the massage is built in, so there's that. Yeah. I like it.
Am I next? Because I
you
was
are.
looking at the
Yep.
thing and I went
Did
away.
you go get
and
another?
I
Did you
gotta
go get
find
another
it.
hoodie?
No, I went away from the document.
Come on.
Ugh.
First time.
Who let me get a new
All right.
iPad?
All right.
The road to self-driving mass usage is proven to be bumpy. See what I did there? Part of the problem is actually with the National Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA, and their certification process. Now, Matt Poski over at The Truth About Cars relays a tale of certification gone wrong. Now, way back in 2017, the NHTSA built updated guidance for automakers who wanted to manufacture self-driving cars, actually designed these so these automakers could field test these vehicles on public roads. And we have seen a lot of results of that. Waymo taxis, those GM things that are getting clogged up in San Francisco. But what they really did, as any tech who's ever worked a race circuit knows, is they created a series of rules so engineers can exploit them.
That's right.
Yeah. Jan, are you there? You want to take it?
Sure. Enter Zoox. Is that how we're going to pronounce this? Zoox, a startup which is purchased by Amazon in 2020. These are like little tiny square boxes with 4 wheels on the corners, and they are unidirectional shuttles that follow a predetermined route. So think of it kind of like a little tiny railroad car that just goes back and forth. They're claiming the self-certification and they're ready to start testing on public roads, but the NTSA says, this doesn't work because you don't have traditional onboard controls, like your steering wheel and your pedals and things. They said you have to have them operate normally. Well, Zook says, well, that doesn't really pertain to us because we don't have a steering wheel or a brake or any manual inputs, so they don't have to be traditional. So the rules don't apply, all right? So, cue the Benny Hill theme music, yakety sax, and the NHTSA launched an investigation into Zook's self-certification claims. In the meantime, California has already issued relevant permits and exemptions for them to operate. More on this corporation versus government. You can triple stamp my double stamp, Lloyd, as it develops.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd. You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd.
Yep. You can, though. Watch him. Truth About Cars link in the show notes. Have you clicked on this little thing? It's kind of cute. I think I would ride in it. I don't know. It's closer to like the Johnny Cab from
It is cute.
Total Recall. Yeah.
Total Recall.
Oh,
Johnny Cab.
yeah. I like it.
Little bug, right?
Hey guys, big gulps, huh? All right. See you later.
Okay.
You know what's not much more than a big gulp?
Oh, there you go.
The Pro Club membership at racingjunk.com. It's only $25 for the year. If you use the code POD23 when you sign up, that's how you get that half off the normal price. No contracts, cancel anytime. You make us look good. Yeah, fun stuff to look at.
Right. I think we should tell the story of what we were doing before the show, of what we were looking for, that you looked up Demo Derby because you wanted
a category for Demo Derby and there was nothing in it. And so then our conversation went, well, what's the real resale on a Demo Derby car? I mean, and the people trying to sell a pre-owned Demo Derby car, they're probably not on the internet much.
No, I don't think once you have a car in a Demo Derby, it's going to have a lot of life left.
So my suggestion was,
but it'll say never wrecked, never raced. Still.
Right. My
Carfax.
Maybe that was my suggestion, that maybe your friends bailed on you and you started building your car and you don't have it done. This might be a place for Racing Junk.
I think most people in the Demo Derby world, that's kind of a solo activity.
Oh, okay.
Who knows?
But you know what else you get with that half off?
Yeah.
That with the half off, there is Team Demo Derby. We get to see it in Illinois. But with that half off, you get access to the early access ads. And Chris with our pro membership found this gorgeous, and let's be honest, not a bad price either. 1972 MGBGT. And we're going to put the link in our show notes, but you can't get to it yet unless you've got that pro membership.
If you wanted a classic car and never had one, like this is the perfect way to start. It's reasonably priced. It's simple. It's actually keeps up with modern traffic. It looks great. Every part's available. Everything that's ever been done to an MGB has been documented. This one's already got the right mods. It's got a Weber. It's got a hotter coil. Interior looks great.
The interior
like,
looks great. This
looks like a great one for the price, assuming it's not all full of Bondo. This looks like a wonderful entry to the classic car world.
Always.
Yeah, exactly what I was about to say. The right wheels.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Panasports or something that looks like it, you win. These small British car.
All right, ready? Upcoming races. Champ Car is at Harris Hill. 33 cars. That's not a great turnout. 6 BMWs. Wait for it. 16. Well, the 16 Miatas are what we are.
Yeah.
Come on. 2 Hondas, 0 Porsches, and the battle scarred Motorsports in a Pinto wagon.
Yeah, excellent.
Mhm.
For them.
Yep. See how that goes.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Were there no races last week?
Well, there was that one minor season opener thing that they
over in
Bahrain. Are we going to talk about Formula One? I guess we should talk a little bit about Formula One because we need to at least plug jumping into the Fantasy GP with us and joining all of us in the what are we going to call this? The Everyone Racers Constructors Championship.
Yes, that sounds great.
Yes, that's very official looking.
Link will be in the show notes, but I do want to say that I think we did pretty good with all of our predictions from last week, except out of nowhere, Logan Sargent. Hello.
13th.
13th.
Yeah.
In your first ever race?
No one predicts Zoo for fastest lap either.
Nope, not even a little bit.
No. Sue didn't even predict it for him for the fastest lap.
Oh, I mean, he did pit at the last lap for Fresh, so he took it, which is fun. But
I'm surprised they green lighted that kind of thing. I mean, good on him. Good.
Sure.
Well,
I mean,
really the reason he got it is because Christian Horner was like, no, you will all slow down. Because there's a lot of team radio out there. If you haven't seen or haven't heard, heard it, that basically both Red Bulls were running 7/10 for the last 20% of the race, and Max was like, "I'll slow down as long as
he was afraid Perez would catch him." Sorry,
that's not true.
Yeah, he was. He said,
"Was he?"
He said, "I'll slow down if everyone slows down," and everyone was clearly Perez. Yeah,
and we were talking about that. Perez.
Oh, I did not hear about this.
Perez was closing on him because our boy, that no one saw coming in third place, was closing on Perez, and both of them were moving up.
I don't know if we're calling him our boy here.
Okay. Well, all right. So the old guy, like the other old guy,
okay, fine. Yes,
catching the old guy. Yeah.
So anyway, I just say good job, Logan Sargent. Good job. Chris, how do you pronounce your Formula One team on the Pentalope?
Petronope, like
Petronope.
Petro instead of Petronas.
Got it. Petronope.
Petronope OMG.
Chris is winning our fantasy league.
What? Walked away with it. Everything but fastest lap.
Yeah.
Because nobody got fastest lap. No, so we had to real quick. Chris was flying, so he left, couldn't watch the race. The three of us watched and were on Slack the whole time. Chris came home at 6 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock. We started watching again, and I'm trying so hard to not say anything.
You were good.
I was really trying. So he looks at me at the second or third time. Ocon gets a penalty, and he was like, "Wow," and I was like, "It's not done yet. We might be getting more." And then he was like, "Wow, Gasly has fastest lap," and I was like, "It doesn't stay that way." So because you're like, "Wow, Gasly has it," but you will not believe who actually got it. So Yeah.
And I showed
Good
up
job,
in the
Chris.
middle to return the trailer, and I was like, "Did you watch it? Did you watch it?"
And I was like, stop it. He was like, oh,
"They're
Ferrari.
3/4 through. Stop." I was like,
Right. He sits on the Ferrari, and I was like, he didn't get there. You didn't get there yet. So, yes, good job, Chris. Jeff, you're right behind him. I'm
Yeah.
hanging out in the way in the middle, like pretty
do we
far
know
down.
who the bad hombre 616
It's
is?
Bill.
Is that Bill or is that okay? Because he doesn't actually
think-
have
I
the
think that's
hombre
Bill.
anymore.
I think that's Bill.
What do you think?
Too late. It's already. I think it's already his thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It-
Good job, guys.
Also in the top 5, we'll say Checo's the Legend, which is me. BA Auto Repair. Max's Minions, who I believe is the dishwashing fairy's son, Josh.
Oh, that's
And-
fun.
In
BA's our buddy Brett, who says it's a bunch of stuff on Instagram.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know who he is. Everybody knows he is. And Insanes in the Membrane, which I'm not really sure who that is. It's
Science.
too much metal.
Great. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
We
Really,
actually
there's a
have,
lot
like,
of people.
20-something people in this.
A
thing,
lot of
so-
people on there, so that's super fun.
I will mention that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like there's about 8 or 9 here that have 0 points. So they've joined us a week late. So it's kind of like the best of the rest. The rest
Or
of you
they
can
just never
join in.
filled in their teams. That might
That's
be a
what,
thing.
well, what I'm trying to say is if you show up now, you still have plenty of people you can beat. So jump in.
Yes, you can.
There's
Right?
always Williams.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's
I did
always
really well on the race predictions, but my team, I'm so screwed.
well, you can
can
still
trade.
change it out.
Good trade.
Yes, which I did made a whole bunch of trades.
I'm not trading a thing. I'm riding my. I don't trade too early, even though I
Well,
had a little too
I'm
much
pretty
Haas
happy
on
so
my
far.
team. Yeah.
I put Magnuson on there and he came
I
in
did too.
last. So I decided to drop him like
no,
he's
I'm keeping him just for a little bit.
he didn't come in last, but he's pretty bad. Okay.
All
Let's
right,
move on.
please. On the YouTubes, Mr. Tim Burr said he's obviously commenting on the Formula One show. He said, I haven't watched the race yet, so here's my bold prediction. Ferrari will not finish in the top 3 in the Constructors' Championship.
Is that really that bold, Tim?
It's not
really?
that bold, yeah.
Yeah.
So bold.
And then if he were going to have lunch with someone, he would pick Kimi Räikkönen, who I'm not really sure is really on the paddock anymore. So whatever. Especially now that he's not driving, some of the stories might come out that would otherwise have been locked away by a driver under contract. I don't think Kimi's held his tongue.
I don't think Kimmy's not gonna hold
No.
his tongue.
But also it's such, the Kimmy thing. You're like, oh my God, did you believe that thing that really happened? Like, what was the thing? Yes.
No. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah,
no.
exactly. It'd be like, oh, yes.
No.
Oh my God, that was so crazy that one time you did that.
No.
Yes.
Oh well.
Okay.
Yep. Ted Ford had a great idea. A comment about writing down part numbers in a recent episode reminded me of a trick I use for keeping track of parts. When I order parts, I address the package to the car instead of me. So the address will say Range Rover Ranch, 123 Main Street, or Volvo Valley, or Toyota Sadie's Terrace. That way I know at quick glance which parts go to what just by looking at the box.
But how does the postman know where to deliver
I think,
it?
there's always like two names, or like the name. Instead of sending it to Ted, he sends it to Range Rover Ranch.
Okay, I
at
got
his
it.
address.
I got it. Yeah, I got it.
I like it. I like it. That's an interesting idea. Okay, Cones Nat, I guess.
Cones in it.
Cones in that. Thank
And
you.
that, yeah.
Mental is confusing manga with Jenga is the most boomer thing I've ever heard all day in the best way.
I'm Gen X. I'm not a boomer. All right. On the Facebooks, our buddy Northern California Doug had some ideas for Jeff trying to get that 4.8 into the RX-7, while Andrew Steer echoed our sentiments saying, quote, Jeff Wakeman's garage needs a 5-stage intervention as much as my 2 sheds garage and cellar.
I think that might be 5S, which is not
5S.
stage, which is
Okay.
which is like a safety and lean manufacturing term, which I love.
I was
Holy
thinking like-
Chrissy got that joke.
I
Break
kind
that
I
down.
of.
was
History
thinking
right
stage
there.
5. I was thinking stage 5 clinger, but you're absolutely right. What is it like? Sweep.
Yeah, it's right
Yeah,
sort.
you
Yep.
know,
So
sweep
sustain.
sort,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep. Shine.
Oh boy.
Add safety in there.
Check it out on
It's sort, set in order, shine,
Did you
standardize.
just Google it? You
and
just Googled
sustain.
it.
Yes.
And then you can add safety at the
Jeff
end, making
has
it
never-
6S.
Yeah,
I
Jeff
have-
has
I
never
have
gotten
a-
beyond sort.
I have a 7th S. Suck it. That's what I'm gonna say. Oh boy.
I have these, I made signs and they're all over my plant. And now I kind of want to just write on the bottom and put suck it at the bottom.
Oh boy.
Or shove it. That could work
shove-
just as
shove
well.
it.
Either one is not
Yep.
appropriate for my
Yep.
lean
Yes.
manufacturing sign.
Find the TikTok video if you want to see it all. The same post on Instagram generated from this Midwest Dad 79 said, "The cure is right there in the 4th slide. It just needs to be bigger." I'm down. While
I think he was referring to the
I think
hammer.
it's the hammer. Oh, okay.
Oh.
While I Suck Racing, ISUK Racing, suggested I look into a Camaro intake, which is a few inches shorter. We are aware of that. We know the Camaro intake would probably fit better into the hood.
The truck intake
Chris,
makes
the
a
truck-
really good power.
What
though.
I was going to say, the truck intake is a little bit torquier.
Our
We'll
buddy,
just put a hood scoop on it.
It'll
Come
fit.
on.
It'll fit. I'm not worried.
that
Yep.
hood scoop was so much work. Our buddy Corvette racing buddy Tracy Godot said, "Ellis, rule the world."
Whoa, whoa! We
Yep.
agree.
And hey, we want to welcome Erling to our F1 Fantasy League. And we just talked about that. Erling joined up all the way from Sweden. It's not too late. Link in the show notes.
Hey, you know what I learned from Bill Fisher today?
What?
Erling and Jeff Wakeman are birthday buddies.
Fantastic.
Happy birthday, Erling.
And happy birthday, Jeff.
Happy
Also,
birthday,
happy
Jeff.
birthday, Jeff.
Yay.
Yay. You should
Thanks.
be probably having a nice dinner with your family and you're just here with us, schmucks.
It's Wednesday. We record on Wednesday, everybody, in case you didn't know that. It's Wednesday. What the F am I going to do on Wednesday?
Yeah.
I got to
Well,
record a
and-
podcast. I got to go to work
that-
tomorrow.
That actually brings us to the close of probably our least festive birthday season, because we didn't, like, Chris and Chrissy were gone for theirs, and we have the traditional springtime birthday seasons, but Jeff's birthday always brings a close to it.
Yeah.
We can wait until next January to start.
Yep.
again.
Anyway, you know who never misses anybody's birthday?
Pretty much true.
pretty much true.
Yeah,
It's his
actually,
mom.
yeah, it is true.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah. Right now, Chef, she's saying, I didn't know it was Jeff's birthday. I gotta make him some cookies.
Legit, tomorrow
Okay,
she's going to
it's
text
okay.
me.
I am, like,
She's gonna-
So trying to eat better right now.
she's
The
so going to text
51st
me.
birthday and the number on the scale are not making me happy. I did an extra 10 minutes on the elliptical today, and I'm swearing as soon as my birthday dinners are done, I'm getting back on the calorie counting because it's a little crazy right now.
Gotta fit in that race suit soon.
Jesus.
Oh.
Anyway, main topic time. Who wants to describe it?
We have in the past, we've gone to car shows. We've actually, sometimes we get in the car shows early, get all the cars pre-licked. And I don't think since 2020 I haven't been to like any of the new, I've been SEMA, PRI, but we haven't been to any of the new car shows.
We have.
Am I wrong? I'm looking at my
Nope.
co-host.
Nope.
They're looking at me like my dog when I make a funny noise. So I'm going to stick with, but so to that end, we didn't get to go through and, oh, this car is cool, or we were excited about this one and this one sucks, but we have traditionally always had a new car episode, and we're not going to break with that tradition. So we're going to talk in a we didn't go to an auto show kind of way about some of the new cars. So weigh in on anything we say, correct us if we're wrong, tell us what you're excited about, but we're just going to go through some new cars, stuff that's available this year.
This is great. We still read a lot. And I watch every YouTube video on the planet. So I've seen a lot of new car
Everyone
reviews.
on the planet?
I don't sleep much.
Everyone.
Wow, okay.
That's not true. But anyway.
You have reached the end of the internet.
Right?
Go outside.
Congratulations.
Do something else.
Get on the
Actually-
elliptical.
It's actually a thing on TikTok. If you scroll too much, a video comes up with this guy going, "Hold it, you've done a lot. Why don't you put down the phone for a minute?"
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's not programmed. It's
While
just
we harvest all
a
your
very
personal
popular-
data.
Yeah, the Chinese, like their servers aren't keeping up with all those things you do.
Oh, how many cat videos can you watch in a 5-hour period? Anyway, let's
About
talk
5 hours
about it.
worth.
We, as car people, as I'm sure all of you constantly get asked, hey, what should I buy? I'm a blah, blah, blah. And we decided that that's going to be kind
And they're
of our
going to
props.
ignore you anyway, but yeah.
100% right.
Oh, look at this
Yeah.
Nissan Versa I got. God damn it.
Yep.
Do you like it? Is-
That doesn't matter. Oh,
I mean,
good.
call me
man.
when it's broken.
One of
Thank
my
you
coworkers,
so much. Thank you so much for your help yesterday picking out a good car. I bought a Dodge Dart.
a journey. One of my coworkers, I swear to God, her and her husband at one point, when I first met them, both had Rogues.
Well, they found the right people to marry.
Anyway, let's do the first prompt, because I think a lot of time people think we're hip and cool and they say, hey, my kid's about to graduate college, or my kid just turned 19 and is getting their first new car now that they've wrecked their piece of crap. What should a parent buy for their younger person? We won't say like fresh. This is not the answer for a fresh driver's license. Is like old Volvo wagon,
Crown Vic.
something, something they're going to crash. But once they've crashed the starter car, and they've got their maybe first real job or their first commuting responsibility, and somebody's going to gift them. Somebody's going to get them a new
gift
car.
them, yeah.
Yeah,
Or gift them.
I
Or
kind of
assist.
I kind of thought like this is something also a young person could afford.
Sure. Yep.
So that's where I went. Should I go first since I did read the
Mhm.
questions?
Sure.
Sure. I love the world. The world should be filled with inexpensive cars with a stick shift and a hatch. So I went with my two favorites, the Corolla or the Civic. The Mazda, I've driven Mazda 3s. I had a Mazda Protege. 500 or so thousand miles on those things. But the Mazda has left me. I don't think it's priced where it should be anymore. The Veloster is dead. The Elantra is ugly. Corolla, Civic, your choice. Go get it, parent. I think they're both cute too.
I am pretty much with you.
Cute.
I was Civic hatch or Mazda 3. And I'm specifically going for the hatchbacks in both because one thing kids do is they move. They don't
Mhm.
stay in a place for very long. And having a hatch, you can move, bring yourself to college, bring back, move to an apartment, go get a, futon, all that crap. Having a hatch.
Put
If you
all
don't
of your
have
friends
if you
in the
don't have a
trunk.
Miata, you're going to need
Yeah.
some sort of moving solution.
Yeah. And they're reliable, economical. You don't have to worry about them. Easy to go.
I agree, except, and so I also chose Mazda 3. Duh. The problem is that the last time we looked at them, which is again not in the last couple of years, the hatch area opening was dismal. It was just the saddest thing. I guess I'm used to the 2007, which I love, and I'm used to now with the Mercedes hatch, which is just awesome and large, and you can put things sideways. It's not a big deal. Really, I felt like if you're going to put that futon in, the mattress
Hang out
is-
the back of
it-
it. But
oh, sure. But no, but it's the corners. Like it's the slope of the pillar is what I'm concerned about on the Mazda. I feel like that's where we lose the hatch part. It just has lost its Mazda 3 hatch soul.
100%, because I had the Protege, and then you had like the 07,
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
and then I had the 12,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've actually spent some time in the generation after that.
Yep.
And then I looked at the current generation. The hatch gets worse every time.
Yep. Yep.
The Protege
Yeah.
had a better hatch than your 3. Your 3 had a better hatch than my 3, and I think it's just going down.
I
Now
agree.
you got to get leather everywhere.
Well, to get a stick, yeah, but oh well.
All right.
Go ahead.
Are you
Wait,
Chrissy,
old Chrissy,
people
say the
done?
other thing, because I
Okay.
have a comment about the other one on your list.
The Prius.
I think this is a good choice.
Yeah. I mean, especially you can still get in a hatch, right?
Yeah, it's the only way they come.
Oh, is it
And
the
the-
only way they come?
Yep.
Good.
And the new ones look surprisingly good.
Wonderful. I think.
Those do look good.
They've
I
really.
wouldn't
upgraded
call them necessarily affordable for a fresh college grad though.
But
them.
well,
They're in the league.
maybe worth it. Maybe it's worth the extra assistance from your parents if you're going to get something that's going to be worth it and longer
Something you
term
can
and
keep forever.
right,
Yeah.
long term.
Yeah.
Prius.
Yep.
They also have the plug-in options if you're interested. They got the bigger one, the smaller one, right? They still do the multiple size Prii. What is plural,
Prii.
Prius?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Not for us, for someone else's kid.
Yeah, that's what we're talking
Oh
about.
yeah.
All
Right.
right.
So what you got?
So raise your hand if you're a fresh graduated from college. Oh, none of my co-hosts. You guys aren't buying cars for them. You're buying cars for you. The world needs more hatchbacks. The reason the world doesn't have more hatchbacks and the reason the world doesn't have more stick shift cars is because nobody wants them. Okay.
Don't talk
That's-
in reality. This is not fair.
and
Stop
this thing,
applying logic.
So
Go buy your
no,
Rogue then.
You're gonna, yeah,
your
and
Versa.
here's-
Let me get
and-
the Versa.
that in which a
No.
Rogue is just a Sentra, but this is and something stick shifts. Most people who can drive a stick shift shouldn't be driving a stick shift anyway. And the small hatchback thing, it's done because people don't like that. We live in a world where Dodge Rams comes factory with 20-inch wheels. Vicky is starting to freak out a little bit every time we take the Miata anywhere because she's like, I don't feel protected. So you have to think like a young person who has grown up in gargantuan SUVs and huge minivans. They're not going to feel safe in anything small, but you do still need something small enough to be maneuverable and have some room in there, because Chris's point about you're always hauling crap when you're younger is valid. For that end, I went with the CX. I put in CX3, but somebody corrected me to CX30. Thank you. And it's Mazda's smallest entry-level SUV. So you get the peppy engine, you get the large storage in there. You can fold the seats down and get some extra storage space. And then it's going to come with all the Apple CarPlay and Android CarPlay stuff. That this is what they're going to want. They want a touchscreen navigation. They want the dial controls in a car that they interface with like they interface with their phone. It's a proven drivetrain that's going to be fairly reliable. And I would start saying maybe Toyota, CH, Honda, but those start moving up market. And I think in the cute ute category, the Mazda is probably your most affordable outside of any of your Korean imports, and your best. And it's still going to be fun to drive, have all the features that they want, and have a not new drivetrain that they have to worry about breaking down on.
All those features are also in the 3 and the Civic and the Prius. They just are not as
I don't
tall.
think he's wrong though. I think a CX30 is.
I think it's a good choice, no doubt.
Yeah,
I
no,
agree
it's
with it.
good.
Some people will go to the Mazda dealer. Mr. Mental told me to go check out the 3. They're gonna go check out the 3, and they're gonna walk out with the CX30.
You're
Mhm.
not wrong. No, all of you are right. We are projecting. We're saying this is what we
Trying
think
to keep
should
people in cars and out of SUVs if possible.
right.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's our goal. That's our angle. Ugh,
Yep.
Yes.
you're right. All right.
All
we have to-
right. So let's discuss the maybe it's not a kid anymore. Maybe this is your coworker. You know that coworker. They just got rid of their blah blah blah. Their Rogue or whatever. They got a couple of kids. They haul all the crap, and it's like, hey, what should an adult drive who's got a couple of kids?
I got, one of them plays soccer, the other one's in theater, and then in the summer we have
Yeah.
dance camp.
Yeah, we got to get everything to the beach. Like,
I'll go first on this.
go ahead.
This is why minivans were invented, and they are the perfect tool for the job. If you wanted to keep looking cool, it's too late. You already had kids. So,
you should have
like-
stopped earlier.
right. Especially if you got a bunch, right?
Not wrong.
So especially if you get one, you can still kind of look cool, right? Two, you're pretty much not there anymore. Any more than that, straight to the minivan. That's why they make them. They are the most practical vehicle ever invented. I don't know how much space can exist in a footprint the size of them. They're nice to drive. They're quiet. They're comfortable. Good mileage. Just go get a Sienna, or
It's a good choice.
right. Be done with it. And if you're really that vain, get a minivan that looks slightly less like a minivan. It's called a Pilot.
I feel like we
Or
like
Highlander.
I basically am going to say the exact same things, but I'm going to have different cars in my slots.
Go for it.
Right? I think vans for the win for everything that you said. Don't sleep on the Kia Carnival. Kia Carnival is a new van that was just released by Kia, and Car and Driver gave it the 10 best and wrote a fantastic review on it. I've seen it. I've touched it. I obviously haven't driven it. I don't know, all those kinds of things. It's a pretty good looking vehicle that I think really could compete.
And also proven drivetrain, proven company, proven to last 100,000
But
miles.
Kia
Put up with it. And see, that's
still
the
stuck
problem.
on Kia.
Yeah,
And it's not that Kia's a bad company. Kia's a good company. The worst part about buying a Kia is having to go to a Kia dealer.
good. Yeah, actually, if the Hyundai, when the Hyundai version comes out, go there because the dealers are better and the warranty is just as long, longest warranty in America. But if just like Chris said, but if they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna do a van, we could do a van. Go get yourself a Telluride or a Palisade or a Genesis GV if you're like, I want the leather. Because it's basically all the same underneath.
In
Which
anything.
you can get in
Yeah,
anything.
I know.
And
but some
actually,
people-
most minivans, you should get the leather because it's all the spilt Cheerios you're going to clean up easier.
Yeah. And all the Hyundais and Kias, though, get the V6 ones. The 4s
Yes,
are not
do
good.
not get
the
the
4s are
4s. Yep.
terrible. They will blow up.
Mhm.
Stick to the 6s.
no, not available in any of the ones I suggested. The 4-cylinder. Yep.
Right.
All of them are the 6.
I have answered this question a half a dozen times. And every time I'm like, almost verbatim what Chris said. Look, accept it. You're a parent. Your cool days are done. Get the minivan. And every time they have hemmed and hawed. Oh, but, and then they go and test drive one and they always end up with the minivan. If you have a child, and I don't know what is I know it's a weight and an age requirement where they don't have to be in a booster seat anymore.
Oh, it's like 1,000 pounds
It's
now.
They have
it's
to
also
be
it's like 20.
15. Like,
They-
they go from
honest to God,
booster to
it's-
driving.
They keep
Literally, it's
bumping
14.
and bumping and bumping up. It's
I
crazy.
think it's
Yeah.
I think it's
But if
12
it-
or so.
yeah,
Actually. Wait, how old's your son, Jeff?
He's 14, but
Oh,
he
it's-
aged out of it, and because there's like a
yeah,
height
it could
and a
be could be
weight.
weight. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a kid that is anywhere in an age where you're having to buckle them in, throw SUVs off the list. You will wrench your back. Period. Dot. End of discussion, especially if you have more than one. And I'm going to go with the OG Honda Odyssey. All right. Beyond proven drivetrain. I have friends without kids who deliberately go and buy Honda Odysseys from families whose kids have gotten old enough because it's a rock solid V6 and they can tow and haul stuff with it.
And they can bring all of their friends with them, and they can
Flip down
all
the
the
video.
gear.
They
Right,
can all
4 by 8
put on
sheets of
their
plywood fit.
headphones. Yeah.
Inside.
8 sheets of plywood, and then the kids all can put on their headphones and sit back there and laugh and giggle and have fun. It's got a booming sound system in there if you want it. These are just great vehicles. And the thing that sold it, for example, to my sister-in-law when her kids were still small enough, she had 2 that could strap themselves in and 1 that she had to put into a seat. So when she had a bag full of crap and a baby, and she's walking through there, she could mash the button, get both doors open. The 2 older ones would run over there, get themselves all strapped in, and then she could strap in the youngest one and still had room for literally all their crap. And the thing about it is now minivans have kind of gotten to be such a subculture. You may not be cool to your old gearhead friends. Well, actually, you probably these gearhead friends, because like, oh, hey, the Odyssey, you could tow 8,000 pounds with that. But you will find you will find a whole new kind of hierarchy of, oh, wow, oh, you got the Odyssey. Yeah, I've got the Sienna over here. No, don't talk to that guy. Don't talk to that guy. Why not? Ford Flex. Oh, yeah. It's
that guy's got an Explorer. Ugh.
Right. Dodge Journey, loser. So you're just going to have to accept cool in a different way. Chrissy has the different opinion.
No, that's not true. I agree. We had this actual conversation with both of you know, my best friend Allison has 2 kids. We had this conversation. She says to Chris, I need help buying a car. He said, go look at these other things. And she walked out with a minivan. So, and she thanks Chris just about every time she sees him. So it works. It's the right answer. She's very happy with it. I think this CRV or CX5 can be an option if you have one child. So I feel like my one answer is off the radar, and it's not a new car, which I know is not what we're talking about here. My sister has 2 children, and she has an XB, and it works really well for them. And it is very cheap, but you can still get a lot of crap in it, and you can still don't have to lean over so much to put said children in. So I think there's value.
It's just a minivan.
Yeah.
Sure. But
It's
I
got
think
more
there's
room in it than like a RAV4 or any of those things. Like they have those cavernous back seats.
It's a flat floor, isn't it?
Not quite, but
no.
Okay. Very small. Okay. Yeah.
But I think there's value. I think you can get away with the seat. You just need less crap, and car seats are big. But I think one of those, we can get an SUV, get away with that. But you have to limit your number of children. So, and or if you need another place, because once you have 2, you cannot bring any friends with you, and you cannot bring any more crap with you. So, you have to have one, and then have a few friends to bring with you. So. You have to limit the amount of people you're bringing.
Are you? I think you're probably talking like your child's friends, because if you have 2 kids, you have no friends. You have.
That's not true.
Oh no,
you have to hang out with the kids' friends' parents.
Right. I'm
and
sorry.
I'm not going to talk about
but
any
you're not
of them
taking them
because they
with
might
you.
be listening.
You're not taking them with you. They're not. Yo, Jeff, bruh, can I hop a ride in the Odessi?
No. I'm sorry. I meant the kids' friends. So when they say, let's go ice skating, you say, I'm sorry, my car's not big enough. I can't bring all of you. I can come back for you, but I can't bring you with us. Do you want to sit in the trunk? Because that's the only seats I got.
Hold on tight to that roof rack, Johnny.
Love it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
All right. Let's say the older people, the older set. Not the parent set, the maybe empty nester set. Says, hey, kids are out of the house. I'm thinking about getting something a little nicer. What's out there that's a little nicer now that I don't have to haul around 27 kids and go to soccer practice? Who wants to go first? I will.
Okay, I'll say, then you go.
All right.
All right, no, I don't care.
Come on, somebody go.
Mental.
So I talked about this when we rented or we toured one over the Thanksgiving holiday, the Lexus NX 250. It's small, but it is luxurious. It's got more than enough pep. It's got fairly intuitive gadgets. There was a time when I was very comfortable with the technology, and now I find myself more and more actually reading directions, which just infuriates me. And
like instead of Waze, you have like MapQuest.
No, I'm good with Waze, but just the way a lot of new technology interacts, I'm like,
do you like how I dated myself there?
Yeah. Why are we doing that? Why are we just doing this thing? So I felt that the NSX, it was a lot of new tech that was fairly intuitive, and I like that one. And it's a Lexus, so it's very luxurious. If you don't want to spend that much money, it's based on the Toyota CHR. And I literally just typed this one in. There's still people that want the old school Lincoln Town Car level of luxury, Cadillac Fleetwood, which those cars don't really exist in that form anymore. A good Pennstar powered, leather equipped, nice stereo Chrysler 300, but even that one's on its way out the door. They are plenty luxurious, fairly reliable, good looking cars.
That's great. I wouldn't have thought of that. I don't know if I could pick out a Lexus NX 250 out of a police lineup. But you know what?
I also like that you said, Jeff said NSX. So there's that.
NX. You know what has pulled my eye every time one goes by recently? the new Volvos are the new Polestars. They are some sexy looking beasts. Out in Motorsports, Jake Thewes just did a great review. I almost said interview of the Volvo XC60 Recharge. If you don't know Volvo speak, that is the mid-size sedan that is the right size. It's also a plug-in hybrid. It looks very much like the same design ethos as a lot of the new Polestars are getting, but you don't have to do the commitment of the full EV because, you know, the old crotchety people are like, no, I'm not going full gas. I'm not going full EV. I need to put gas in it.
So an XC60 is not a sedan. That's a SUV.
It's like a mid-size SUV, right? Did I say sedan? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mid-size SUV.
Got it.
It's kind of the crossover kind of like looking thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think it's a sweet looking car. I think the plug-in hybrid is probably the best thing you're going to get a older person to do. I don't think they're probably going to commit to full EV. And looks great. Very nice inside. They had a wool interior as an option. It was really, really pretty.
Volvo does have some interesting design things going on.
Yeah.
I'm scared by the turbo and supercharged and hybrid engine. Like that's a lot.
The new one does
on.
not have that. The new one has a standard, I believe, just small turbo, no supercharger hybrid.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm going to give two options. One, very similar to the last option I gave, is an MDX. It's a Pilot that's fancier and nicer. Drives great, looks great, reliable, nice car.
They're just good looking cars.
Yeah.
They've been advertising them on a lot of the racing, and they the colors and the options. It's a striking vehicle.
And there's another left field option I'm going to go with here, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. And I'm going to say that because I think the lack of maintenance appeals to a lot of older people who don't want to go to have a car worked on. They forget to get their oil changes. They don't want to do any of that stuff. So let's take that away. They also don't like going to get gas. Well, if you have it in the garage, it's charged up every time. Every time you go to leave, it's like you already got gas. Unless you're going on a really long trip, you're all set for everything.
This was an easy question for us because we've been talking about it a lot.
They also have a high hip point, which is important when you get older. It's harder to get in and out of the lower cars. So having a hip point that you can just slide right over into, not climb up like the Escalade or down like the Mercedes, but just across.
They also have a much nicer ride quality. They're a lot closer to a Buick than a Escalade. They're not as bumpy. Or I shouldn't say Escalade, than like a Tahoe.
No, the Escalade is kind of bumpy, actually. That's from when, depends on the year. Some of them are more than others.
Yeah, it sounds like you're describing my wife, by the way. She's like, I'm tired of playing the gas game. They're not pricing it real. They're just pricing what you're going to pay for it. Yes.
That's how it works.
It has nothing to do with it actually cost. Right.
Again, how it works.
It's called capitalism.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Well, so I'm gonna go Mercedes E or S class, but when Mental was talking, now I'm thinking that the infotainment on ours is a little bit confusing. So I'm wondering, I don't know anything about the infotainment on the current Mercedes selection. So that's something that we really have to consider when you're picking up.
I always found the Lexus one to be terrible, like with a little mouse thing.
Ours has a mouse thing.
Pad, but you don't have to use it. You use the little wheel. The wheel is really easy.
Well, the wheel. Okay.
I just punch the screen. I don't know.
We don't have a punch. We can't punch. If you punch the screen, it'll go away.
The new Mercedes screens are 7 feet wide. They start, there they go. Yeah, all the way across.
So that'd be my only concern about adding something to Mercedes of the infotainment, but that may be a problem with a lot of things. Lexus ES or the MDX. That was a couple of years ago when we sat in the MDX, and we basically had my parents sold on it. So I think that's probably the right answer.
They made a Toyota Avalon still, I would say that, but they don't. They make the ES now.
I like the fact that you said, like, for parents who are 55 or over. I'm like sitting here on my 51st birthday.
Oh
going,
shit! Sorry about that.
No, none of these. Can we say 60, 58?
Sure.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Are you feeling old?
I'm sorry.
A bit. All right. As I adjust my reading
I
glasses.
apologize.
Let's talk about some crap Jeff would actually buy and get him out of this thing. Great dual purpose daily driver HPDE. Somebody who's gonna lose a little bit because they want to make sure they can take it to the track every now and then.
Miata.
Chrissy,
Go
put
Miata.
her hand up. Go
Miata.
ahead.
Miata.
Always the answer.
Always the answer.
Do you have a preference? Soft top, RF?
Gonna have to be the soft top because you can't put a roll bar in an RF.
That's what I was hoping you'd say.
Yes.
The RF is sexy though.
Mhm.
There are track day organizations out there that are finding out that think the factory hoop that is like right behind the seats in the RF is acceptable. So,
But then you don't look as cool. Like I need the roll bar.
RF is
Then it makes it.
sexy.
But no, the roll bar makes it look like you're legit.
You're right. You're not wrong.
Go
100%
roll bar.
not wrong.
Okay.
I'll go for next. So I've been totally munching and rereading and looking at all the pictures because I think they're sexy of the recent Lightning Lap edition of the Car and Driver magazine. And gosh darn it, if the Blackwing CT4V isn't hitting me right in the cockles. It smoked a lot of stuff that was a lot more expensive. In the recent test, the only thing that beat it was an AMG SL63 was the next thing, and it was $196,000, which is like
that's
more than double.
That's the MSRP, and you're not touching one.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
You're going to have to pay over 200, and that's after you've already bought 6 other cars from them, and you're the buddy with the dealer.
Yeah, the only thing that was cheaper that beat it around the track was a Audi RS4, and I'm not touching anything built by the Volkswagen Group. So
And that one was on slicks too. Actually, they
was
put
it?
comp tires on the Audi just to see what would happen.
Yeah, there you go. So the
Hey,
RS3. I said RS4, RS3.
Yeah. Hey,
And
the Blackwing comes with a actual manual transmission as it available.
Right. This is what actually prompted this conversation because I was having conversations about the Blackwing with my coworker this morning. That's what prompted me, but I just don't think it looks that good.
It's a sleeper. Absolutely.
It just kind of looks like
It's like a better
Meh.
M3. An M3 was never an exciting car to look at, well,
Meh.
except for the E30. But
Well, and I think the BMWs are terrible looking right now. The big buck teeth. If you can't afford that, just go get a Mustang. It's what everybody really is probably tracking these days.
Yeah.
There's a reason you can't swing a dead cat without some guy blaring you with his Mustang pipes at a track day.
watch out for the crowds. I'll say this, no one's gonna be surprised. Civic Type R. It's designed to go around the track,
Nothing wrong
and
with that.
it's also as a giant hatchback, and it's a Honda. And it's
Good
gonna be
luck
reliable.
finding one.
Yeah, right. And then
Sure.
you're gonna die when you pay for it. So
Yep.
yeah.
Or if not that, or especially if you want something rear wheel drive, I'll say any of the Toyota GR cars. So the GR86, the Supra, or the new GR Corolla. Good luck finding one. All of those would be very capable, dual duty, do what you want cars.
Yep.
And you're going Miata mental, right?
Oh, and you're
He
right.
already did, actually.
Oh, well, I know, but I mean, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to move on without him getting his point in.
Chrissy's 100% correct. And moving from a large, capable, 4-door, comfortable sedan to a tiny little car has had almost no impact on my life. They're just really good. They're surprisingly versatile.
Helps that you
If-
live
if you-
where you do.
Right, you live in a place like I can't move a rug in my Miata today or
Sure you
yesterday.
could. Just better
Wear a
bring the
jacket.
parka.
I don't want
It's
to. I'm gonna
totally fine.
blast the heat. I'm gonna complain the whole time. So no, I'm not going to do that. Actually. Okay, let's move on.
All right. Who wants to do the next one? Want me to do the
Sure.
next one?
Chris,
No,
you
Well,
can-
you
your
said you said
category.
100 on 422. Can you even do that? I mean,
There's one
is there
stretch
a
you can.
stretch
Yes.
with it-
It's a
Yeah.
there's
Yes.
a car in
no
your driveway
potholes.
the car in
With
your
not
driveway
enough-
that's done it many times.
All right. Fair
I-
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
was
came
gonna-
close in the Titan on the way home, by the way.
Yeah. So there's one stretch no cops can sit. And, it's not always clear.
What is the category? Sorry, we're playing insider baseball. I don't think we said it.
Oh, a great car that you can drive going over 100 on. I put on 422. It doesn't have to be on 420. It's probably the ACE, actually, the road that
Expressway,
that Jeff that drives on. It really is very, very fast. But cops can sit on there, so that's why it doesn't really matter if you're going that fast. Hell, Jeff took a picture with his phone when he was going 110. So there's that.
I was in
People are
Mexico.
listening.
I was in Mexico.
Absolutely Mexico.
Oh, okay.
In Jeff's defense, he did not mean to take a picture. He was trying to do a TikTok while he was eating to 100 and pushed the wrong button on his phone.
Okay. I'm good. AMG Mercedes is the right answer for this. It's so fast and then when you hit the button, amazing. Yes. The button that's on all when your foot's to the floor and then you can go even further. There is a button that makes it go faster and it's ballistic and it's amazing. So yes.
Nothing wrong with that choice.
Nope.
Except nobody can afford it.
I mean, sure. I mean, there's no price cap on this selection here.
Yeah. I went for an affordable choice. Kia Stinger GT. The only thing that dropped down and beat me to 130 in Mexico the other week. You could even get
30?
130, yeah. You could even get them in Mexico. Or no, I'm sorry. You could even get them used. They're all over the used market. Nobody knows what they are. They're kind of like hidden. You'd never know what was going on inside that car.
Yeah, that is exactly what when that car was introduced, we had Brian Medford, who writes for the
Mhm.
Napa Know-How blog, on the show. And he said, those things, they're great cars, but they're going to depreciate. I believe the phrase was, it was either used condom or tuna fish sandwich in July or both. I don't remember which one.
He must say condom because I say tuna fish sandwich in July. So
And
Chris says both of them.
And yeah, because no one knows what they are. And the best part about buying a pre-owned one is, again, you get to avoid the Kia dealer.
that's right.
You should just do at all costs.
Yeah. They're kind of hatchbacks too. So
Mhm.
put it in the hatchback file.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Supra. I
Yeah.
think a Supra manual it's very easy to go very quickly. I quite enjoyed the one I drove at as an instructor at VIR.
VIR, yeah.
Yeah, that one was an automatic, which I mean, it actually is faster, but
It isn't this the manual only available on this 4-cylinder?
no, only the
No,
6-cylinder.
Now, yep.
The opposite.
Okay. All right. Good.
And if you see a Supra with red Supra lighting on the back that someone didn't put on there, that's the manual.
What is it? Red Supra
The
light?
Supra logo on the back is red.
Oh,
The
really?
letters are red on the manual ones.
I had no idea.
Like
This-
the old the Honda Accord V6 manuals.
Yes, exactly. The V6
Yeah,
was red.
Very, very subtle. Yeah.
It was.
I'm going to
Betzell?
say if you can stand being lumped in with this group of people, it is still actually a great car, and it's the Challenger or Charger 392, preferably the wide body, but you don't have to get that one. And I will claim this until, well, I will just never stop claiming it, no matter what facts are presented to me. The best parts of that entire lineage of cars all came from when Mercedes owned Chrysler, and that's why they make such good, capable Autobahn cruisers. The newer ones, and you don't need the Hellcat.
No.
The supercharger on there just generates too much heat. The 392, the 6.4 liter is a fantastic engine. It has the 8-speed transmission behind it. It is big, it is capable, it's comfortable. It will slow down from those speeds very, very quickly once. So when you see that cop,
that car can suck up some highway. I guarantee.
it can, and it's they're good, they're comfortable, they're actually, as seen by the majority of their owners, they're fairly bulletproof and hard to hurt. So you're not going to have a lot of problems with them. It's the same thing with having a Harley or a Corvette, is you're just going to get lumped into that group of people, 392 is not actually the size of the engine. It's your credit score, all the
They
all
are
stuff that goes with
everywhere.
there.
They sell a
But they
bazillion
are.
of these things.
They sell a bazillion because it is a
'Cause they make
really
sense.
affordable way to take you and 4 of your friends to 100 miles an hour, and everyone still has elbow room.
Great for doing burnouts at Dairy Queen.
Well, what else do you need?
I'm going to also add very quickly, Metal reminded me, Corvette, the C8 is a really phenomenal value for what you get.
Honestly, couldn't C8 really answer just about every question? What to buy for a track car? What to buy
It can't do the
I guess you can't take
college,
your
the
kids in
college
it.
grad, the number
Yeah.
of
But I mean,
kids.
100
You're
on
over
422.
55, you can't get in and out of it.
Daily driver.
Get that, was it the Lambo Dent or something?
Yeah,
What is that?
exactly.
That spot. Yeah. Oh well. All right, let's get a little real here. Something you would actually buy if you had to buy a new car soon. Your car got tree fell on it tomorrow, and the used car supply is wiped out. You have to go buy a new car. What kind of thing would you actually seriously consider? I'll start.
Go ahead.
Integra Type S. It's not actually out yet, but when it will, it is the nicer version of the Civic Type R. Hatchback, manual, turbo motor, good performance, not quite as hard edge as the Type R. I think that would be a wonderful daily driver. And I'll throw another wild card out there. The Fisker Ocean.
Oh, I don't know what a Fisker Ocean is. Please tell me what's going on there.
It's EV.
Uh-huh.
It is a kind of mid-size SUV kind of thing, but it's a little lower. It's got a lot of really neat design details in it that make it seem pretty cool. And the thing I like about it, yes, it's from a new company, Fisker. Fisker's kind of been around forever, but it's actually built by Magna Steyr Puch in Austria, who build all kinds of cars that you have heard of, like, the 5 Series, and the Supra actually is built by, like, all kinds of stuff are built by them. So they know this is not just some new company starting saying, "Oh, we'll figure this out."
It's so ugly.
Oh, really?
Like it.
Now I gotta go. I gotta
disagree.
Google it.
I think
like it.
it's right here. I think it's a rather attractive vehicle.
I
Oh,
For what it is.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think
but you can buy one that has a tent on top, like a
Rooftop
electric.
tent?
Yeah.
I think of all the SUVs coming, or the electric SUVs coming out, I think this is one of the coolest ones.
See, I like the
Good
Polestar a little better.
interior. That's a really good looking interior on that.
I think the Polestars are a
It
little
looks
sexier.
so
than this.
Ooh,
But-
and it's a rotating screen.
It
It's
looks
one
so
of those giant
futuristic.
iPad.
Yeah.
We're living in the future, yo.
I don't want to be.
And probably this is going to be priced right around where the Polestars are. The Polestars are pretty expensive. So-
$8 million. Actually,
They start at like 40. and go
yeah,
up
it
to
says
80.
37.
Really? That's not bad at all.
$499.
Good job, Fisker.
Huh.
That's a good idea. Love it. Can I go next?
Please.
Please.
I hate everything. If I had to,
I hate everything.
I am still in love with the Veloster N, and I look at.
But Chris just told you a tree fell on it yesterday.
I know, that's what I'm saying. If that happens, I'm gonna cry because I don't think there's anything out there. The Elantra N is ugly. You can't find a Civic Type R for $1,000. The Integra Type S is definitely a possibility.
If a tree falls in his Veloster in, he's
Yeah.
just gonna grab his Sawzall and keep driving.
Yeah, no. For some reason, Subaru will still not make a hatch WRX.
The new WRX is so ugly too.
It's so ugly. I probably would end up either just turning in my daily driver loving car and getting like the Ioniq 5, or I would find the fastest Civic or Corolla with a stick I could find in a hatchback, knowing that I would not get a GR and I would not get a Type R because I would not spend that money and I probably wouldn't find one. So, and I'd be depressed. Yeah. The Elantra N and the Kona N, F you, Hyundai. I'm not coming back.
Wow.
Yeah, they
Wow.
don't care. They don't.
They don't. They don't.
Oh, the one middle-aged guy who loves hatchbacks is coming back to us, Fred.
I know,
Who didn't even buy the car
do?
from us in the first place.
All of the
Oh
above.
my God! Somebody pulled up next to me in a brand new Elantra N. It was the gray that they only did in Canada, and on the Veloster. And he was like, "Do you love your Veloster?" And I was like, "Excuse me, I'm puking a little looking at your car." So
They are
ugly.
pretty damn
Wow.
ugly.
So
Yeah.
You're on fire
Jeff's
today.
a Hyundai elitist.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
that-
there you go. But I'm just telling you, I would go get the Corolla or the Civic right now.
Okay. Mantle, you got
That's all
nothing?
what you got.
I don't. I
It's a
just-
Miata, right? Is that really what
Well,
it is?
and it's this, and I just did this exercise, and I probably would just go get another Miata, and then I would bitch that I had to buy a new one. I'm like, God, I already depreciated it $4,000, whatever. There's even in the money no object realm, nothing excites me enough that I and I'm not saying they're not great cars out there. Everything that my co-hosts have all described, they're all really good cars. Just none of them make me want to spend that much money.
Yeah,
I thought we said money is no object.
I mean, honestly,
I know.
a
You
Z,
have
a Supra,
AMG
the
coupe.
GR86.
Sure.
These are all great cars that wouldn't fit my lifestyle because I need the back seat and I need the more space. They're better cars than what I'm driving, but they don't fit my lifestyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would just end up with another Miata,
Yep.
which is boring.
Macan?
McCann.
Macan? Maybe.
That's
But-
Taycan. Macan.
If you haven't driven them, they're impressive.
I
She
have
has,
driven. I
on
have
track.
driven them.
Oh, that's right. On
Yes.
track. Yeah.
I did.
Our friend JP has one, John Polnick. Now I've driven it on twisties and I've driven it on the freeway, and it's really good. But don't tell him, because I just like to remind him that it's an overpriced Volkswagen. The thing Vicky just got rid of, the not the Touareg, the
Tiguan?
Tiguan is
Tiguan.
golf based.
Yeah.
The
No.
Macan is not golf based. It's more a Ford based kind of.
I know, but I
They're
like to
very
tell him that it's just an overpriced Tiguan.
Got
Or,
it.
yeah.
Let's settle this now. I think it rhymes with pecan.
I mean, I don't even know how to say it. And even
Just
when I
ignore
was
me.
Pecan.
just keep doing the rest
It
of the
is-
show.
it is
Just
pecan.
don't because pecan or
Macan.
pecan. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Just ignore my joke. Just go on.
I had a hard time when I was walking up to not going, "Take care." And I'm like, oh, you're in a professional setting. You should probably not be saying things like that. But yes, I was doing that. Okay.
The local Porsche dealership here, God and Porsche, they've got the Taycan, and they've even got the Gran Turismo one that they'll bring to the Cars und Cafe event. They're gorgeous, and it's wonderful to have a big dealership like this support our event. And I still look at it and go, and 4 people look at me like I'm a weirdo, and I don't care because it just makes me happy to say it.
What did you say?
Taycan.
Pecan. He just
Oh,
yelled
that's what
it.
he
It
said.
chopped
Oh,
his
it
thing.
chopped it out. And I was like,
Oh, sorry.
I missed what you
Well,
said.
and it's really the Y in the word Taycan that tells you how to pronounce it, which is missing from
Taycan.
the Macan.
Oh,
So
you are.
that's, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay.
Like,
It doesn't matter.
enough
I've
of this.
Moved
But
it over.
if you're going to get one, get the Sport Turismo, right?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
the 4-door wagon thing.
Yeah.
If you had $1 billion, why not?
Yeah.
It's a good looking car.
Okay.
What's next?
Last one. A car that you know is not a good car, but yet it somehow still intrigues you. I can
call
start
it.
us off.
Go ahead.
I'll start us off. Range Rovers.
Dumb idea.
I've always wanted a Range Rover. Damn it if I haven't always wanted a Range Rover. And and every time when I look at them, and when I get serious about buying something, I go, no, not this time. Nope.
And we
Nope, not
don't
gonna do it.
have we don't have the lifestyle nor we could probably afford it, but do we want to? Is the problem? It's like I don't really
Not
want to
gonna
be
do it.
stranded places. I don't want to just come in and my car is, half of it's sitting on its side and like it's just screens are black because they feel like it. Like I just don't really want to deal with British bullshit.
Yeah.
Is what I do. British bullshit.
Especially,
they're so
especially
good
coming
when
out of
they're
a
right.
Mercedes. You come out of the Mercedes, you're like, why is none of this work? Damn it.
Did your time with a Land Rover not get that out of your system?
No, because
No.
and mental will totally attest to this. It wasn't perfect, but it was quirky and endearing in all the right ways.
It was
Well, that's what
not.
I'm
If
saying,
it
like
hated you,
No,
like-
I hated you.
No, I'm
Like,
saying,
saying.
didn't you get that British?
No.
experience?
Because
Bullshit.
the Range Rover,
If
a new
nothing
supercharged
else-
Range Rover is very different.
True. No, but 1,000%. I agree
If
with you.
nothing else, that Land Rover kind of stoked that fire for every reason Chris is saying. When it works, it's just so right. It's almost this undefinable quality that makes them such a joy to drive. And my brother has a thing for those things. So he's had the supercharged, he's had the velour and all of that. And, and every time I see him, it's like, oh yeah, it's in the shop for this or it's in the shop for that.
Chrissy
But
wanted the
I drive
Velar.
them. I drive.
I
them
did
when they're-
like the Velar. Yes, you're not
but
wrong.
they just break. But when they don't break, it's wonderful.
I mean,
The
the
Disco is
99,
like
right?
It's like
the-
a really friendly, happy dog
was-
that you really enjoy spending time with. It
No.
has a seizure sometimes. Like,
I
And
want to
tinkles,
go.
and tinkles every time it gets excited. Just a little tinkle. Just
I
enough
wanna
where you have
go-
to get the little carpet spray, and
That's right. I want to go last in this category because all of you, I've read ahead in the notes, all of you have the same flaw. So I'm
Okay.
going last. Somebody else go next.
Our good friend Eric Peterson has one of these. Our very good friend Tom Lamino has one of these things. My buddy Sam has reviewed them, and it was the one of the launch editions, and it broke. They brought him another one to continue the automotive review, and that one broke. But the Alfa Romeo, it's
the Quadrifoglio.
The
Serious.
Giulia,
It
I
is-
assume we're talking about, not one of the SUVs, right?
yeah, no, yeah, the actual the Giulia. It is, it's that scene in the movie when the American hero is sitting there, and at the end of the bar is the strikingly good-looking Russian agent who is nothing but trouble, but I'm just gonna do it anyway, and it's gonna be awesome. And
right until you get stabbed.
Boopity boppity.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
taking
a turn.
And honestly, and I've sat there, and we had Eric Peterson on the show, and this is a man who chooses to race a Maserati. And he owns one of these things, and he is an engineer by trade. He also has a collection of really interesting, German cars.
And clearly a
And-
high tolerance for pain.
And every time
And
he's got it at the
sadness.
track and we're driving someplace, it is always a recap of everything that has gone wrong with it since the last time I saw
No.
him. And it's still such a
Sexy.
great car.
Sexy.
It's
Sexy,
great
sexy,
to ride
sexy.
in. It sounds right. It feels right. It
Sounds
smells right,
wonderful.
It looks right. Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty car.
Actually, going back to if I had to buy a new car soon, a tree fell on my Miata. I got a scooter. I'd probably just go buy an Alfa Romeo. I
And a
would.
bike when you can use your
Yeah.
legs. So right?
Exactly.
You don't need
Yeah.
you don't need
I
a
don't need
reliable car.
reliable. Yeah. I need
This is
fun.
This is taking such a turn.
This is great.
I'm
Chrissy,
gonna go
Tell me about your terrible choice.
I'm going Maserati.
And you're right. You are
right.
100% right.
I mean, who doesn't like watching a Ghibli go by and say, I mean, because how often does that happen, really? Maybe more in Mental's world than it does in
I
in my.
pass them all the time. They're on the side of the
They're on
road.
the side of the road. Broken, and there's sadness happening. Yeah, exactly right there. Let's go
And-
with sadness.
Every week I get on Facebook Marketplace at least 2 show up.
Get out.
Oh yeah. Are you interested in Yes, I'm not buying it, but I'm interested.
I'm going to click those pictures.
I'll look
Your
at it.
algorithm's going to continue to deliver them
Such
to
a
me.
mess.
But
It's
I'm
like,
not
wow, this
touching
guy does not like good cars.
The guy I picked the NSX wheels up from this past weekend, a Quattroporte, was sitting in the driveway.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You should have
Yeah.
paid him double. I'm sorry, dude. Take a little extra money. You need it. All right. Can I
All
tell
right,
you?
go,
why
Jeff.
you're-
Go.
Okay, here's the thing. All of you are sort of wrong because we're
We're all
talking about.
very wrong.
Okay, no, but
Oh, yeah,
here's why
we
you're.
don't. We don't
Here-
care.
here's why you're all wrong in the same way. You can have these things on the used market for like $1.50. So go get it and
The
put it
reason
in.
we don't.
Make it your second car.
We're a
because
little
you're
smarter
gonna
than
need
that.
it to be the second car. But don't worry. If we all go by our favorite in this list, I will come get you all in my Hyundai Santa Cruz. Have you seen these cute little tiny pickup trucks?
They're terrible.
They are absolutely terrible. I have no idea what they're for. I don't know. You can't put it.
They're
The bed
ugly.
is about. Oh no, they're funky looking.
It's a
This is a
Tucson with
this
a
is a
bed.
Subaru Brat.
It
This
looks
is-
like Sasha came over to your Hyundai Tucson.
Yes, exactly
And
right.
decided I don't need to I'm gonna lop off this back.
I have no idea who the hell they're building these for. I have no idea
They're
what they're
expensive,
for.
too. What?
They cost the same as the Tucson.
What?
They're probably terrible. The Maverick is probably 10,000 times a better car. Every time I see one on the road, I go, that looks fun. That looks cute.
Okay.
At least it'll run.
I
What
mean,
what you
sure.
guys picked.
Well, it's a Hyundai 4-cylinder, so not so much.
That's what you're right. You're right. Yeah, my probably only for a little bit. Anyway, Mental's pulling up the picture.
Oh,
They got the oh, get
All
the
the
chrome one.
models.
Get the chrome one. Oh my god.
and the worst thing is the chrome one. Actually, I've clicked on that ad. It doesn't run right now.
Of course it does.
Clicked on
None of
that
them
ad. Oh, okay.
This guy.
Oh, look
here
at
we
that
go.
green one.
Oh yeah.
Don't
yeah.
get the green one. No.
Well, it better run for 40 grand.
Fuck.
Here you go. Here you go. 12 grand will get you the Quattroporte.
Oh, wait, is that there's one
Oh
that's
my God.
what's the $2
There's
grand
a
one?
$2,000
$2,000
2018 Ghibli.
Easy credit.
Easy
There.
credit.
Easy
That's
credit.
Probably
Oh,
just what they're
no.
suggesting as a down payment.
Oh,
You walk
yes.
in there and it's not really. There's another chrome one. Who's doing this to their car?
And
In
that was not
effing-
that was not the 4-door. Yeah.
In
that's just
effing
the-
Vegas. If that thing's driving near you, you're blind. You've got lasers in your eyes.
Everybody can have a Maserati.
Everybody should not buy the Maserati and buy the Panamera there. That's 19,000. That's a much better car.
Thanks for pulling that up. This is great.
Yes.
I mean, you're like
I had no idea
Oh, it's
they made it
beautiful.
convertible. No,
Does
it's
not run. Unable to register.
pink slip on hand. Willing to negotiate price via DM. If you're willing to negotiate the price via direct message, A, you're a scammer. B,
Or
You're
B, you have a
desperate.
Maserati.
You're
you just want
desperate.
anyone to come get this thing.
You are desperate.
Oh my god.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Can we be done with this for a
Let's
second?
be done with this. I
Yeah.
know what started this whole discussion, and Chrissy wants to have what are we going to call it? Just the rant?
Sure.
It's not just the rant. Okay, so you can't see. I am holding Consumer Report in an actual magazine form that says best and worst cars, cars, trucks, SUVs. Will an EV save you money? Terrific tire buys, etc. So, my parents have always, more my father, have been diehard Consumer Report readers since before I was born. So they took it as gospel. They believed everything about it. And they started showing up at my house. They got us a subscription for Christmas.
They bought you a subscription for Christmas.
They did. So,
It's great for
ahead.
dishwashers. and
That's what I
stuff
was
like
going to
that.
say.
right.
If you're trying to buy a blender or a dishwasher
Or
go.
sleeping pills, because it's the other one that's on my counter right now. Okay. But I wanted to talk quickly about, we talked about all these great cars. And should you listen to this? And if not, then where are you supposed to get your information for the people that either don't listen to this podcast, that call us, and then we either give them information or they want to back it up or something like that? Go.
I'm going to say generally use it as a source, but it is absolutely not gospel. And there are some things that we all know that what compared to what they say that is just wrong. Like their top rated mid-size or mid-price sedan is the Nissan Maxima. And all of us who have driven that go,
what?
The Maxima is terrible.
What are you
I'd rather have a
talking about?
Ghibli.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And all their reliability data comes from surveys of people who get Consumer Reports and respond to the surveys. So it's automatically a skewed data
It's not
pool.
like JD Power, which is pulling that from better places. And
I don't
So-
know how many people know that though. Is that
And there are things that should give you pause about their data. This is the most obvious example I could see quickly and find is the Honda Passport and Honda Pilot, which are identical, except the Passport is like 8 inches shorter and doesn't have a third row, but they're 100%
Same
identical
car.
in every possible way.
Yep.
One of them has a great reliability rating. The other one has a medium reliability rating. It's the same car. Really. Identical. The Ford Escape and Lincoln Corsair, same
thing.
car. Actually, but more different than the Passport and Pilot, which are literally identical. One's the Lincoln's fancier. Lincoln has a top plus reliability rating. Escape like below average. And everyone knows, of course it's below average. It's an Escape. It's not a good car. So the fact that they say that all Subarus are like the most reliable things in the entire world. No, they're hit or miss. Sometimes you get one, and sometimes you just know
We're
it's the worst car you've
50-50.
ever had.
they also
But
hate
it's totally hit or
Volkswagens?
miss.
And they're right.
No, there's some that they like. They just liked that Atlas or whatever the hell it is that you were just looking at.
Yeah.
And so
Most of the Volkswagens they don't
it
like.
is definitely not something that you just should be taken at face value. Use other sources too.
If you're a person that approaches the gearhead in your office, then ignore it. If you are looking for liability, but this one is also slightly askew as well because of the way they collect data. JD Power is good, but as we talked about last week, Tesla just passed Ford under most loyal buyers.
Well, have you met a Tesla owner?
That's
They're
a loyal buyers, right?
Crazy, yeah.
Right. But
They
so
fall under the category of vegans and marathon runners. Is how do you know your person has a Tesla? Don't worry, they'll tell you. Right?
Exactly. So look at anything that's hard data, and it does. A car is a giant durable object that you are going to have to spend a lot of time in. And if you went to the gearhead in your office to ask this question, or basically, if someone came to your desk and is asking you this question because you listen to this podcast, they are actually also looking for some sort of physical and elemental response that exists outside of reliability. And you can give them your honest opinion, but the world still sells a crap ton of Altimas. And I will say that there is no Reddit thread called Big Maserati Energy. And there's definitely a very popular one called Big Ultima Energy. So, they've come to you with that one.
They're just trying to get approved.
True. And so it's horrible to say this in the world that we live in, but it is consider your source and how they got that data, which is not to say, as Chris and Chrissy both said, that there's not good data in Consumer Reports, and they can report some very factual things about the elemental design and that kind of stuff. But when Consumer Reports went a little bigger, like back when they were literally just a magazine, and the magazine was a means to publish their findings because they existed independent, it was a good source. But like any other thing that has been chasing revenue and ad dollars, they've had to kind of adjust their coverage to reflect
the market. Yeah.
To reflect a demographic that they're trying to attract.
So I've got an alternate proposition. Jeff, no, you go ahead.
I was going to say, here's what I do a lot of times. I say, somebody says, hey, we're thinking about buying a car. I say, what do you like? Because I think that kind of tells me what they're looking for. And then you know what I send them? the article when that segment was tested in Car and Driver, because I think they do a really good job. It's like, oh, the 4 best cute utes, or the 3 best whatevers, or 10 things you can bring to a track day, or what's the best hatch today. Because I think they're really descriptive in telling about the personality of the car. And I think that's going to, like, if you read it and it says, this is the hot hat, this is the fanboy version, and this is the, if you're looking for something a little more softer, or this one had the best, like, you can read that and say, ooh, I think I want to go cross drive that because it says this. And that's what I tell them to do. I don't care what you buy, but I want you to read that article and drive one of the ones that is also listed, because you think it's going to be what you're looking for. And almost all the time they say, you know what? I didn't really think about the, Subaru Crosstrek as being the same as this. And so I went and I drove it, and I definitely didn't like it because it felt like this. So I went and, it helps either confirm or give you a new outlook. So yeah. I always
too many people only drive the one thing, like, oh,
right.
I had a Ford Escape before the new one, it seems nice. If they ever looked at a CRV or a CRV or any of those things, CX-5, they would say, well, that Escape is crap. What is that?
Yeah, it's exactly what I try to
Nissan makes. Right. So the alternate source I was going to suggest is, if you're a numbers kind of person, look toward the insurance industry or the actuarial financial industry.
Check it off your bingo card. Chris talks about
Yay!
A warranty is an insurance product. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. And they have figured out how much it costs, and then they mark it up a little bit to make some money, and they overall long term, it's going to average out. The other thing to look at in the financial services industry is lease residual values. They have actuarial tables of how much this car is going to depreciate. In general, a car that holds its value better is probably a better car. So if one has a 60% residual value after 3 years and one has a 40% residual value, I'd probably tend toward the higher one.
It's a great thought.
Also look at the aftermarket warranty costs, from one company for a variety of models. I guarantee you the warranty cost on the Range Rover is going to be significantly higher than the Lexus.
Billions and billions.
Right.
Billions.
If they even will sell you a warranty, frankly.
Right.
So that is a way to quantify reliability based on data.
Love this.
That I think is real. Metzel.
I hadn't thought about that, but counter to every other vehicle I've ever purchased, we actually, to alleviate the Mrs.'s fears, we bought the extended warranty because mine was a 2016. Do you know what a 4-year warranty on a 2016 Mazda with less than 30,000 miles cost?
Like $800. Like
$3,000, bumper to bumper. Everything is covered. I love that. I love that you confirmed that, because I did not want to do it. I don't like extended warranties, but yeah.
Well, it's just a way to compare,
It is. That's an excellent one. Before Jeff starts firing up his music, because we got a lot to read on this next part.
Okay, good. Hopefully everybody enjoyed us talking about cars we picked.
Tell us what we're doing next week.
Yes. Also, we would love to hear if you have any ideas for it that we might have missed. We're always happy to hear what you are coming up with. When you're yelling at us, when you're listening to us, we just let us know.
And send us your cheapest Maserati that you find in your local area.
We're going to get so many of them. Okay. Next week's show. Okay, next week we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics, or at least mine too, paddock food. So please send us your ideas, recipes, your favorite, preferably for a crowd or a super big crowd. And if you could let us know any meal that you prepared and you thought was going to be a great idea and wasn't, we'd love to hear that as well.
That's awesome.
In a future episode, we are looking for a general or a specialized contractor to talk about standalone garages. So if you recently had someone come there, or you've dealt with a contractor who's not a stick in the mud, put us in contact with them. We'd like to talk to them.
Great. I think this is all fabulous. Hit us up on all the places. Tell us who did the best or worst job tonight to send us those crappy Maseratis. But most importantly, just remember that we thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. Caress the like and subscribe button. Even if you hated us, just hit it, because we need the positive reinforcement here. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers. Email us, everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text Mental a picture of your favorite Maserati. 484-243-0455. We are on Instagram and Twitter, and we lost the TikTok account, but you can find me there. We're on Reddit.
Such a loss.
/E1R. I know. The Chinese are never going to know what we're doing. Anyway, YouTube, Facebook, Everyone Race. We already said it. Let's just say thanks again. And until next week, keep the shiny side down unless you bought that chrome Maserati. Then keep the greasy side down. I don't know what that means.
Shiny side should be up.
Shiny side up. Yes, I'm sorry. Whatever. Unless it's a chrome Maserati, then it's too effing shiny. Cut it out.
It's broken.
See you next week, everybody.